trades today. How was the Korean barbecue? It was good, man. It's funny, they changed it up a little bit since the last time that I went. They must be getting really popular, so they kind of changed the way they do things. But the food is still good. But we got like bulgogi, spicy bulgogi. We got pork belly. We got cube ribs. It was all really good. But the spicy bulgogi, holy shit, they're not playing around. The last time we got it, it was more of like a marinade spice, like kind of like a wet spice. This was more of like a jalapeno spice, and it was ridiculously spicy. And me and my buddy, we're used to the Old Spice, so we're like drenching it in hot sauce and shit. And we're like, holy shit. We were sweating, but it was good. I like drinking soju when we go to places like that. If you guys haven't had soju, it's really good. That's right, Wall Street, because they had you banned. You had a nice little vacation from trading. It feels good though to take a break from trading every now and then come back with kind of like a fresh mindset. It's really hard to do nowadays because the market is so active. But it definitely feels good to take a little break every now and then. Especially if you're on like a losing streak. If I go on losing streaks, I typically take a little break and then I'll completely change up my charts, like give myself like a fresh start. Knock on wood, we haven't had one of those in a while, but it's the best way to go about it, I think. Okay, possible areas we're looking at is buy pressure around 39.05, a sweep of 39.15, or maybe a possible bearish halfback. Those are the three trades I'm currently looking for. I didn't trade much at all last week. Like, we had a couple of trades, I think Monday and Tuesday. Then remember, we had like nothing. I think it was Wednesday, Thursday, or we had like very little trades. I can't remember. But then we had that banger trade on Friday. Unfortunately, we could have closed double the profit. I think we closed for 20 points, and we could have ran for 40. But we're not going to complain about 20 points, right? So, really nice trade. If you guys missed that trade, I highly recommend. I'm pretty sure we caught that on stream. What time was that? Let me see. Yeah, that was the 10 o'clock move. We damn near bought the low on 10 o'clock, and we rode it all the way to the high, but then it broke the high. We got trailed out on a little micro pullback. It like bottom ticked us, trailed us out, and then broke out another 20 points. But thankfully, we didn't hold all the way, because look at that. It just completely nuked. But yeah, that trade made our whole week. That was a great trade. You just have to understand the market is not going anywhere, right? And the market's going to be here tomorrow. It's going to be here the day after. It's going to be here all day. You don't have to rush into a bad trade in the morning. The market is not going anywhere. Oh yeah, PMI. Thank you, thank you. Let's take a look. Uh, 56.9, very slightly above expectations. Market does not care. Seems like the market's still going down. Let's take a look at the graph on this. Yeah, it's not bad actually. It's right around average. Believe the economy can take it. They believe the economy's in a good place for them to continue to tighten. All that jazz. 3-minute sell, still on the right side of news. It's been on the right side of news for a good while now. Like I said, guys, it's going to be an unfortunate day to trade because if you weren't in right at the bell, you kind of missed the boat here. And days like this happen a lot. It's just frustrating, but these are really good days to work on your discipline. Be patient. Don't FOMO in. Obviously, there are setups you can FOMO into, like breakout setups. But just make sure you're taking the good ones. Don't just FOMO in because you're itching for a trade. You can see we're actually building decent value down here. We got some strong nodes building up. So look for retraces into this value around 39.09, 39.15. Keep an eye on the halfbacks. Keep an eye on the short-term moving averages. That sort of thing. You can see how aggressive this move is. You're maintaining below the ADMA. The ADMA is one of the most important indicators you want to use on a day like this when you're very trendy. That is going to show you where the aggressive traders are trading. If you're well below that level consistently, then you are extremely aggressive to the downside. And we are well below that level. We are 20 points, almost 30 points away from that level. Another thing to keep in mind is, doesn't matter how aggressive you are, the market will always retrace to the ADMA. It does it constantly. It doesn't matter how aggressive you are. Like I said, like you could be 40 points away from it, and the market will find a way to catch up to the ADMA. Whether that be go sideways, whether that is just slowing down the trend and reversing, it will always pull back to the ADMA. Not every single candle, but eventually. So with that in mind, if you see the price is 40 points away from the ADMA, it's probably a good idea to not short because you're shorting 40 points away from your aggressive average. Like you are being extremely aggressive. So that's a good thing to keep you kind of in check. This was a beautiful trade by both the bots here. The 3-minute caught the move, but this is what I talk about when the market making bot turns the bands off. So if you start to trend like this and the midline turns red, the midline turning red means that you are trending because it's on the range bot. So if it turns